Something that came to me by proxy when becoming a minimalist was saving money. Some habits and interests of mine changed that just led to me spending less and saving more. Even though I've been doing the things on this list for years at this point, I often find myself slipping back into my old ways, which is why minimalism truly is an ongoing process. I always try to make lists that can apply to virtually anyone, even though I only speak from my own experiences, so take from this what you can. These are 5 ways I save money as a minimalist. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like and please put Wolfsbane in the subscribe button's T. Let's get started. Focus on needs, not wants. I need to talk about this one first because it's something I do personally struggle with pretty often. And I have a feeling I'm not alone here. If I think about the times I'm really considering buying something, it's most often something I don't need. A great example is how close I was to upgrading my laptop, when the one I currently have is completely capable of doing everything I need as far as editing videos and just doing my daily tasks. My point is, if I stop and think about why I'm considering getting something, it's often for that initial excitement of just having something new, and essentially to do the exact same task I'm already capable of doing. Identifying needs versus wants can be a very blurred line, when in my own head, I'm often just creating justifications for an irrational purchase. Needs are what I want to survive, work, and be healthy, and it's up to you to determine what that means to you. And focusing on needs over wants can be very difficult, especially when we live in a society that encourages us to constantly consume and acquire. Before your next purchase, just consider if it falls under a need or a want. Cut back on entertainment expenses. And I think this was a very easy area for me to cut back on because I know that there are several ways to have fun completely for free or nearly for free. A few years ago, I started spending a lot of time at my local park, and now I'm there several times a week, only at the cost of the time it takes to actually get there. Entertainment that used to mean going shopping or going out and getting something to eat has now turned into a walk or a game at the park, or just finding alternative ways to enjoy food with friends. Having a movie night at home instead of a fairly pricey $30 trip to the movies can be just as fun. And not that I would ever consider doing this, but there may or may not be ways to watch a movie at home, plug your laptop into the TV, and have a movie night that way. And as much as cutting back at entertainment has saved me, I think it's still important to not be a total cheapskate and pay for entertainment every once in a while. If going to my favorite restaurant once a month means skipping the movies, then it might be worth it. The point is to not completely deprive myself of entertainment, but just to cut back where I can. Borrow and buy secondhand. One thing I always talk about being overlooked and underused is just borrowing things or buying secondhand. I mentioned before that when I go on trips that aren't my typical climate, I've just borrowed jackets from family and friends. And when borrowing wasn't an option, my first go-to thing to do was to look buying used. Every camera I've ever owned in my video making career was actually used. I've never bought a camera brand new. The camera I actually used to make my YouTube videos, I got for an absolute steal at my local camera shop, used. And for example, the camera I'm using now is $1,500 on Amazon, where I got it for $600 at that local camera shop. No damage, no catch. And I'm sharing this because just putting a little bit of effort into a search can make the difference between hundreds of dollars. OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, family and friends usually have or know someone who has what I'm looking for and is usually more than willing to let me borrow or sell it at a fair price. Furniture, some electronics, and basically anything that's very expensive, I would suggest shopping secondhand before looking for brand new. Learn how to do it yourself and repair. And I feel very strongly about this one because I've come to realize how important this can be for saving money. I do believe when it comes to dangerous tasks, it's important to leave it to the experts. However, I have found that there have been several times I've been able to fix something myself with a quick Google or YouTube search and save a little bit of money. The first thing that comes to mind is my car. Honestly, my entire life, I've been a total idiot with cars, but I knew that there were a few things I could learn with a quick YouTube search, like changing the oil or even the brake pads. Basic car maintenance, fixing a leaky faucet, and generally just becoming a little bit more handy with things around the house saves time, money, stress, and is even a little rewarding. Create a no-spend challenge. I got the idea to implement a no-spend day into my week a couple of years ago, and now I'm actually trying to expand it to several days. Basically, the goal of a no-spend day is just that. Try to not spend any money on that day or whatever time frame you set for yourself. Now, this sounded incredibly easy when I first started doing it. Then I soon realized how often I had those small, frequent purchases just spread throughout the day. Creating this challenge for myself sort of forced me to find entertainment and activities that didn't cost me money, and only eat or drink whatever I already had in the house, stopping those spontaneous food purchases in their tracks. After doing a no-spend day weekly for about a year, I want to try and implement more days throughout the week where I'm not spending, maybe 2 or 3. I really won't know what's realistic until I give it a try. I encourage everyone to try a no-spend day, because while money is obviously being saved, this challenge also easily helps identify some areas we might not realize our money is going. Overall, minimalism in itself has saved me a lot of money by changing my behaviors and just helping me value every single dollar a little bit more. But these are just a few core things anyone from $10 to $100,000 can implement just to put yourself in a little bit of a better financial position. I'm still so far away from where I want to be with my money, but I find this part of the journey to be very exciting because I get to see the progress as it's made. Anyways, I hope you got some value from this video and I appreciate you watching. If you did like this video and you like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.